Hello all and welcome back to the Invictus stream. My name as always is Mr. Harlan Guthrie and I am here tonight once again with the lovely, the talented, my good friend Mr. James Schwartz.
Hello everybody.
We are joined of course by the incomparable Mr. Justin Thomas James. We wouldn't be here tonight without my love, the ever pleasant Ms. Joe Fallak. Finger gun. And of course, the GM extraordinaire tonight, back in the seat, Mr. Chris Viseau. And we are here tonight with another episode of Threshold, Chapter 5, Approaching the New. What is it, Chris?
The Innermost Cave.
The Innermost Cave. It always gets cut off, and I never think far enough advance to prepare.
Actually, you had it. That's what it was. Approaching the...
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday night, which means we are live streaming some RPG fun. System we are using tonight is the system we've been using for the last few weeks called Forbidden Lands. You can check it out wherever you buy RPGs. I ain't going to give you the link. Figure it out. You're an adult. And if you're not an adult, you shouldn't be watching this. Because despite this is 18+, we are mature people. And, you know, we just don't want to sign off on that. We don't know what's going to happen. Anything could happen.
Talk to your mom.
Justin could do armpit farts all night
your
long.
Mom.
Yeah.
Call your mom for once.
Wow, that's impressive. You can do it through your shirt, Justin.
Thank you. Thank
Justin's
you.
got
You know,
moist
it's-
pits.
I do have moist pits. That's one thing that I describe as myself. That's my key identifying factor, actually.
Moist pit.
Who's one of your good friends? Well, Moist Pit's Justin.
Yep. Yeah.
We love you,
you've got a
King
moist
Monkey
pit
Butt
friend?
1.
Everybody wants a moist pit friend.
You keep up all the good work, King Monkey Butt 1.
Yeah, you. No, you.
Anyway, yeah, we are back as we are every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock with some RPG fun. If you are somebody who likes this stuff, make sure you subscribe. We are under 5,000 views away from 1 million views on our YouTube channel. How crazy is that? We actually have a bunch of big numbers coming up. We are also about 5,000 listens away from 100,000 downloads of Dice Shame, almost ready for episode 100, which comes out not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
So
we're
exciting.
a week and a day away. Episode 99 of Dice Shame comes out tonight or tomorrow morning
And
at
if you like
1:20.
introductions,
If you like introductions,
This
it's probably
is-
our best introduction. I think. I don't know. I don't want to sell it too much, but I've already did it.
Alex
So
gets in there with...
some.
You know
anyway,
what?
just
We'll post
don't-
the PDF afterwards.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, 99 comes out tonight. A new episode of Dimension Door Severed Fate today.
Yep. Severed Fate was today. It is a buttload of fun.
Butt fun. Buttload of fun and a fun load of
yeah.
butt.
Monkey Butt 1 fun. Monkey
Yeah.
King Butt Fun 1.
So make sure you check out Dimension Door and all that goodness. Also, last week, we didn't do anything last week. 2 weeks ago, we also ran the Outlaws of Desolation Peak here on the stream. We had a guest GM for the first time. I mean, really just the absolute glowing presence of Tim Woods came on. And
I love a good Tim Woods.
I love a good Tim Woods. Such a good Tim Woods.
Good
and,
Tim Woods in the morning.
Good Tim Woods in the woods. So he was there for sure. You got to check that out if you are a fan of Call
Ran
of
a great
Duty.
game. Great
It was
Call
a
of
good
Duty game. So
Yeah,
fun.
big fan of that.
Good guy.
Beyond that, another audio drama, Goddess, is out now. If you like audio dramas that cover a variety of present-day topics, as well as a sort of time-spanning backdrop of all different cultures and times, check out Goddess. It is an audio drama that I co-directed and did all the sound effects on and act in. It's available on pretty much all major links you can find on Spotify. It's by Mark Harris, who wrote it. It's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do, and more stuff like that coming up. So make sure you give that a listen and a review. I know a lot of people from the Discord checked it out, and I appreciate that very much because it was a lot of work.
Do it.
Beyond that, I think that's it, right?
Well, we are going to start promoting a little something that's happening in November.
That's right. We are just around the corner from the start
Extra.
of promoting Extra Life.
Yeah.
For those unaware, Extra Life is 24 hours of gaming, and this November 6th, we will be up. I say we, the royal we, but I will be joined by a plethora of different guests. Joe, hopefully, will get off work, but I will.
Oh, I already booked it off.
Well, good.
I got the sheet and everything. It's all
At the very least,
done.
I will be up at midnight on the 24th to midnight on the 25th. What am I saying? 24th, the 6th to the 7th, streaming games. We'll be doing RPGs. We will be doing an in-person Hot Ones challenge.
Harlan's going for the world record amount of D20s in a day.
Oh, you know what, Chris? Maybe we should do something like. Maybe you should do that.
Nope.
Chris pitched it last time
Harlan's
that we go for a
doing
Guinness World Record of most
D20
natural World
record.
20s. I really like it. We'll do it. We'll do something like that. Maybe in an hour.
Oh,
That's
that's
substantial.
A good idea.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a world record. All my idea. Just kidding. 100% Chris's idea.
And just so that this is clear, this is a charity drive.
Yeah, so I was going to say that. So this is all to raise money for Sick Kids Hospital. This is well, it's a charity that we've done for 4 years now. This is the 5th year doing it, which I'm really excited about, really proud. Every year we've managed to raise over $1,000. This year will be no exception. I'm counting on every single one of our new fans and old fans alike to bind together and create a pulpy fluid. To donate as much as they can so that we can raise over $1,000 again.
A gibbering mass of people who've joined
That's right.
together to
Gibbering
donate.
mass. But yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. So book November 6th in your little date book. If people still use those, I don't know. I know we'll have a few people there for sure. Michael and Brianna Weber, I'm sure, will be there for the full 24 hours as they always are.
Ride or die, homies.
Ride or die. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, next weekend is Broodfest, I think.
Broodfest.
Nope.
Nope.
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Next weekend. We've had this argument before. I say the next weekend, meaning that this is this weekend. So next weekend meaning a weekend
I got
from
you.
this
I
weekend.
got you.
Has anyone ever made the connection between brood and like micro brood?
No. That's a great name.
Brood.
Brood Fest. Like BREWED Fest. Oh, we got to pitch that as a crossover for the Chronicle Boys. But anyway,
that.
Brood Fest with 2 O's is this, not this weekend, but the weekend after. It is going to be on our Discord. It is a fan-run convention with fans running games and playing games. We will be there, but sort of, in the background a little bit. It's really meant to be a...
By the community, for the community.
By the community, for the community. Thank you. Yes. I will be running a game for Patreons. At the $50 tier, they'll be able to book a place in my game. I think it's End of the World I'll be running. And then if they all pass, then 25, 10, 5. So if you are a supporter of ours, you will have a chance to play a game with me that weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, you can check it out on the Discord under Broodfest. All that kind of beautiful information will be under there. So check it out. Is that it? What else
Do
we got?
it.
What else do we got? Is that it?
Justin has a really cool chair that I'm
Justin,
just now
show us your
noticing.
chair.
Look at that chair back there.
Oh, not that one.
Chair.
Yeah, that chair.
Yeah.
Look at that chair. Look at that pattern.
I thought you were talking about my Herman Miller A-Rod. No. You're talking
No.
The one that functions as a table mostly. It
You have a
appears.
Herman Miller Aeron as well?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
We both got Herman Miller Aerons. It's so funny because
so
Gary
good.
randomly...
So good.
Yeah, they're so nice.
That's funny.
Can't see my
I have something I want to mention. I came home from work today and Harlan was like, "Hey Joe, guess what? I randomly wrote and produced this short horror story while you were gone." Every time I turn around, I turn my back and then I come back and Harlan's like, "Look, I made a new nightmare."
You're very sweet. I appreciate the support. It will be actually out. It will be a Halloween special.
It's
So
very exciting.
listen on Malevolent's feed around Halloween, and you're going to see something real special if you like that.
Scared the pants off of me.
A lot of horror stuff coming up. I'm feeling the season. Are you guys feeling the season?
James,
Yes.
what do you think?
I'm ready. I'm ready for some spoopiness. I'm ready for some nice cooler temperatures.
There's a change.
And I'm ready to drink hot cocoa every day forever.
Yeah, there was like, we had maybe 2 solid weeks of just sweltering heat here, which is nothing compared to Arizona. But and then literally yesterday, like on the cusp of September, the weather was like, all right, and now it's like kind of cool.
September
outside.
1st.
Oh, it's dreamy.
9 degrees. It's gonna be 9 degrees tomorrow night.
We opened our windows last night, and I was like, are the fucking crickets this loud every
Yeah,
day,
they
or are
You
they
can hear
just
them
pumped?
through the window. No, it's really nice. So lots of Halloween horror stuff coming up this year. I'm really feeling the season, especially because last year, COVID really fucked it. This year, don't get me wrong, COVID is still a thing, but I am hoping that come October 31st, we are at least in some sort of temporary valley. Is that ignorant to think? Probably.
I don't think it's
Well-
ignorant to think that. I think it's hopeful because we do have lulls. So
We'll wait
having
and
a
see.
lull that like lines up would be nice.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope. Anyway, I think that's it. That's a big, long intro. Lots of stuff coming up, which is always exciting. It's always exciting to feel like we're a thing. You know what I mean? Back in the days where we would be like, it's Wednesday, nothing's going on, here, let's play the game. Now it's like we actually do have things that we can talk about and mention. Stuff that we do, stuff that we're associated with, like Dimension Door, things that we're just proud of. It's really, really exciting. Actually, speaking of proud, one more thing. Tales of Asperon, our friends, Mike Ashmore, he just did a episode on his podcast with James
D'Amato.
James D'Amato.
James Tomato.
James D'Amato.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Hey, what's the difference, huh? James D'Amato, which was really cool. I thought it was a
Yeah.
really cool pull for him. So congrats, Mike. And go
Great
check out
pull.
Tales of Aspirin, which we've done a shout out to many times anyway. He was actually on a stream once. He was on Call of Cthulhu.
Yes, he was.
Anyway.
He's a real nice guy.
You guys are being too successful. These things are just getting longer and longer. Like,
I know.
stop doing shit, okay, guys?
Sorry.
Stop
I'm
doing
gonna
All
try to
shit.
stop.
right, all right.
Natural one.
Oh.
Man.
Oh man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Fleshhold.
From beneath the gnarled conifer, a face of decay, green and horrible, smiles at you. You may go back now. There's lots of work to be done in the mine. I'm afraid this way is barred to you. Thorny brambles thrash from the earth, thick and sharp as razor wire, closing in around you and creep over the trees. All beneath the tall canopy, you hear a scream as trees themselves wail in pain. The same trees that were throwing apples at you are now wailing in pain. Agar laughs a cruel cackle and disappears in a puff of flame and smoke. The brambles, thick and sharp as razor wire, creep and tear at the living force. The trees groan and whine as the bark is torn from their trunks. Apples are no longer hurled. The viney thorns seem to reach out towards you and try to stop your way. Before we go further, I want to award XP for last game. You guys all will get experience point for just playing the next session. Thank you for playing that game.
Yeah.
You also will get one for entering a new area. So the previous game, you had been in the field with the corn, and Finn had managed to get himself, solve a puzzle. You got to learn a little bit deeper knowledge and things like that. Then I think we'll also award some points to Justin's character, because one of the things is finding treasure. And Justin had the great idea of going back and actually scooping up some of the poppy flowers, which I thought was very clever. So using those poppy flowers as kind of like a prize or something like that. Harlan, your character will earn an experience point for just using your talent, or sorry, your pride, which you did.
That's right,
last
yeah.
week. You're very good at using that every time, and I encourage everybody else to do that as well, because Harlan is racking in those experience points.
I picked a good pride.
Do you feel like anybody might have brought in some, risk for themselves to help out another character or defeated a foe or any other reason you think your character should be awarded an experience point. Joe, I want to say that maybe you should get an experience point for having made that connection with the White Rabbit. I think that was a little extra that wasn't necessary, but it was an interesting add-in to it, and I think it's going to have some effect later on, so that's great. Any others that we think?
None that come to mind.
Yeah, I think that was kind of where we ended. So now you are in this forest, a beautiful forest at first, and now it's kind of getting all gnarled and bizarre, and you were very unwelcome. And Jericho did a search recently, and he found in the tree this nest, human-sized nest in one of the trees. And Wharton and you were kind of exploring the grounds, and you were calling out, and the trees seemed hostile, mostly just unwelcoming. They were throwing things at you, maybe trying to dissuade you from going this way. Maybe a warning, in hindsight now, because you realize that Agar showed up and really now is trying to bar your way from going any further. So the trees are now entangled in this mass of thorns and vines, and the thorns and vines seem to reach towards you. They're not kind of coming at you, but they're barring the way. And it seems like you're going to have to go through these thorns a little bit in order to push on, if that is what you choose to do.
Yes, we can keep going. It's not worth turning back, Jericho says as he hefts his axe.
Do we still hear or see anything like about Agar still being here?
It
Or
seems
was it
like
just kind of
Agar, a puff
ethereal
of
void?
smoke. No, puff of smoke disappeared completely. It wasn't, you saw Agar. You saw the decaying face of Agar.
Yeah.
A lanky, smarmy looking creature of a human, green face, decay, and cast this spell and laugh and cackle and disappear, kind of thinking, I have so much power, you're nothing, you're a flea, you're going to go back. I don't even need to sit here and fight, kind of thing.
He's not wrong.
Jericho, you seem kind of eager to push on. Are you going to try to hack your way through it?
Yeah, my axe is sharp. It'll be able to deal with this bramble.
I'll follow you, and I'll just go behind him. Let him lead the way.
And it is thick. It is like razor wire. Justin, I'm going to have you do a roll, but I want you to roll. Let's take a look here. I want you to roll. You can either use your strength with your axe or agility to nimbly make your way through the thorny brambles.
Oh, I'm using my axe for sure. Trying to clear a path for my friends.
Use that as an asset.
The axe?
Yeah, for sure. So you're going to actually roll, I assume, using strength. And a melee
strength
attack,
melee. Yeah.
And then use an added your weapon bonus.
Okay, so I get 3 for I get 5 for strength, 3 for melee, 3 and 3 for my axe.
Okay.
Jeez, 11 dice?
Yes.
That's a wonderful roll to open up the session. Hey,
Yeah.
roll 11d6
This is-
for me.
It's a bit min-maxed. It's a little bit min-maxed, I think. But here, let me see if I can find die of the same color. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just the weapon that needs to be a different color, right?
You need to actually do your key attribute, and then also your talent, and then your weapons. So 3 different
Wow.
colors there.
That's a good thing. I've got enough D6s.
You can always roll then reroll.
That's
true. As long as we keep
All
track
right,
of
so I got 1 6, 2 1s, a second 6, and another 1. But yeah, okay. So I got 2 6s.
So you do manage to hack away some of the vines, but this is actually very difficult. It's very dense, and one of them does latch around your leg as you're going through, pushing your way through. And a light bead of blood appears through your leggings. It's not enough to do any damage per se, but the thorns noticeably grab at your skin, kind of like if you're walking through like a raspberry brambles or something like that, and it just is aggressively getting through. So you guys are going to push your way through. Now, as soon as you push your way through, a little hacking your way, Jericho's a big guy making lots of space for the other party members to come in behind him. You guys can do the same roll, but it's now going to be a lot easier for you.
Yeah.
So go ahead and you guys I have a fixed amount of successes you need to get through, but it's now been dropped by Jericho, who's led the way here.
And it's strength or agility, you said, right?
Either one I'll accept. Now, you have to describe how you're using strength to get through. I guess you're still hacking, slashing, and seeing ones and fighting it back.
No, I'm going to do agility.
Now, also, just a reminder to all human characters that we have a special racial bonus that allows us to use our strongest skill in exchange for a will point.
That's right.
So,
That's a good one.
well, I
strength or
didn't do
willpower.
that, but I rolled once. I got 1 6, and I pushed it, and I got another 6. So I not only pushed it, but I also got 2 6s.
No ones on the push.
No ones on the pushy.
So Finn, no problem using agility, maybe.
I did use agility.
Are you second through after Jericho?
Yes, I'm right behind Jericho. I got my hand on the small of his back. Oh, you're so sweaty down here, bud.
All right, so no problem. You hear Jericho
Just stay
doing
close.
it. Yeah, you're making his way. It's
Closer.
opening up. It's a slow go. You're bushwhacking to get through here. Theodora?
I didn't roll any successes, so I feel like I'm a little bit timid as I look around the brambles and they snag at my clothes. Are you sure we shouldn't go back?
And as
Is this smart?
you're trying to get through here, you actually see a jet of black shoot through the trees, through the brambles, and kind of start guiding you, Theodora. Very interesting, because you recognize it immediately, and it's the wolf that you've come to become friends with. And the wolf seems to be guiding you, kind of like as you're about to stumble, it kind of bolsters you up and runs past Jericho as well, and kind of turns to look at you, Theodore. So you're actually not going to take the fail on that one.
Yay!
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
I say, Todos!
Wharton, let's hear what you did.
Yeah, Wharton's gonna pull out his shield and he's just gonna kind of, maybe a bit too brashly, just try and charge through,
Nice.
hitting any brambles out of the way with his shield. So that's strength and which skill?
Are you doing like melee to attack your way through?
That
Yeah.
works.
Now I think you can use shield as a bashing implement, so you can get a 1 for your shield also, right?
Yes, I believe so. Okay, I have 1 6 and 1 1.
So you succeed. So you don't have to push it, and that bane doesn't exist. So
Sweet.
kind of almost like stoically walking through as if you're like pushing aside reeds. They don't seem to be latching onto you as you're bashing your way through it. And I think it's probably due to Jericho's, he's kind of weakened everything, so it's not this very strong pull on you as you're getting your way through. So all the people in our party make it through, and on the other side there is a wolf turning and looking at you. Jericho, as you're standing here, your leg where the cut was begins to feel a little bit numb, and it feels a little bit strange, like it's gone to sleep a little bit. The wolf turns to you and kind of looks you in the eye, Theodora, and kind of waits expectantly ahead of the group. On the other side of the brambles, the forest has changed completely. Pushing through the forest, you notice that this forest is dead. Every single tree around you, gnarled and burled. They are not these living trees that you've seen, some beautiful, some fiercely throwing apples at you. It's all dead. Theodora, can you do a scouting roll for me?
I certainly can. Is that survival? Oh, scouting. There, I see it.
Yeah.
2 successes.
You see, strangely, as you're looking around this new perimeter, shocked to see the wolf here, you see a tuft of matted, almost dreadlocked orange fur.
Just in the woods?
In the woods, hooked on one of these gnarled branches, as if it's been pulled off a creature trying to make its way through. Let's go to Tailspire now, and we can kind of start this adventure this way.
Cool. So, I mean, first of all, I want to go to Todos and just give him some big head scratches.
As you get close to Todos, you see a fear in his eyes, clearly a wild animal, but also this, again, this wisdom in his eyes. It's unusual for a wolf. And what's he doing here? How is it possible he's here when you're so far away? There's something impossible about seeing this wolf here. Almost ethereal, right? It's like it's very bizarre. And he allows you to scratch his head, but he also doesn't react in like a affectionate way. He's kind of serious.
I get it. He needs some time. Also, he's probably like spectral or something. So now that I've acknowledged my companion, I want to go see what that orange fur is.
So you pull a tuft off, and it's matted, like I said, dreadlock, very tight knots, and long hair is probably, about that long, maybe, 3-4 inches, and then, just a knotted mass there. How do you want to inspect it?
I suppose I will use, lore,
You can try.
perhaps?
Yep. The other thing I would accept is maybe animal handling.
Oh, I can do that too.
Like, what are you trying to get from it? What do you want to know?
I want to know
While
what it
handling an
is.
animal.
Yeah, so I do animal handling.
Okay. All fail.
Oh no!
No.
You have no idea. No idea what it could be. And it's a strange color.
Can I take a look at it?
Does
I push
anyone
my way up
recognize
forward
this?
and I say, "Here, let me take a look at that." And I look over it, and I will roll. Maybe can I do maybe insight? Maybe see if I can decipher what the sort of animal was, through insight.
Yeah.
Is it? It's just like a hank of
See
hair.
if I
There's
can
no
do it,
flesh
Theodora.
attached.
No, it's like no flesh at all. It's not like it's been ripped or cut from something.
It's one
Sorry,
success
just
and
pulled
one
off.
fail.
So it's still a success.
Yeah. And I turn to you and I say,
You're trying to suss out the animal as well. So the insight is this. The insight is that the way you're looking around, and we'll say that you spot a few more actually blowing in the wind, some of them, like kind of rolling on the path. Whatever animal it is, frequents this area. And looking back, we'll say the nest that you had witnessed, you actually recall seeing some of these hairs kind of tufted in the nest as well. So whatever creature has lost a tuft of fur on here, it stays nearby.
well, it's a nearby animal of some sort, and I can't quite decipher exactly what it is, but it does seem familiar, like it was from that nest. And I'll tuck the fur away.
Good
Justin,
memory.
can you do an endurance check?
Thank you.
Yes, I can. Endurance is 2. All right.
What number was that?
7.
Every number.
14. Sorry, just 1 second. Need more die. Just kidding. All right, let's see this. Oh, 0 successes.
Oh no.
And many fails. I'm not going to push it though. I'm going to
Probably for the best.
yeah, there's 3 ones. I don't think I'm going to.
Oh no.
The strange feeling in your leg.
That's why I need 11.
Yeah, you feel the strange feeling in your numbness begin to ache a little bit in your leg,
Yeah.
and you feel you're distracted a little bit, and you're recalling your wife, and you haven't thought about her since all the strangeness has occurred, and your thoughts kind of drift back there a little bit.
And I get a little bit woozy and put my hand up on the tree. I was initially concerned about this wolf, actually, and I was ready to lift my axe in potential defense. And I take 1 step forward and stumble a little bit and put my hand up on a tree and try to catch my breath.
Jericho, are you? Oh gosh, the voice. Jericho, are you? I say, nope, not there yet. Okay, Jericho, are you doing okay?
It's really good to me, man.
Oh my god.
Just go with it. It was fine.
And Jericho puts a hand up and says, "Yes, I'm fine. It's don't worry. It's just a ghost. I'm all right."
Can I take a look at his leg?
Yeah, that'd be a healing check.
Yeah, I want to go over and see what's up. A healing check. All right, I got that. Ooh. 2 successes.
Hey, nice.
You notice that he's perspiring a lot more than he should be in the cooler temperatures in this part of the forest. And you also notice that there is the veins around is looking very vascular in that leg. If you once you open up the wound to take a look at the wound, and it doesn't look very good. It looks
Jericho, this is not good. We'll have to do something about your leg.
Pardon, it's just a scratch. I'm sure it's fine.
No, sit down. And she sort of moves you towards one of these brambles, a thorny-free patch, maybe, and leans you back.
Oh, careful, Theodora.
Are you feeling quite all right? And she's like puts her hand against his forehead. Does this seem
dizzy.
like it's something that's going to be able to be healed by time, or is it getting worse?
It seems to you that as you're watching this wound and you're resting for a moment, his symptoms don't seem to be getting worse while you're resting here.
Okay.
However, it doesn't look like a normal scratch. You're sure that this is beyond the healing that you can do. You could perhaps help the wound, but you cannot stop what's happening.
Okay.
So before long, he needs to seek medical attention of some sort.
Jericho, this is not good. This is going to be quite dangerous. And in fact, I don't think we're going to be able to go on with your leg like this.
We must go on. We must find the person to the east.
Yes.
Theodora, you're sure that if he stays here, eventually the wound will get worse. So he does need to push on, but in doing so, it's you need to find, it's time sensitive. So the question is, if you stayed here, would you leave him and then try to find help, or would you try to bring him to the help? So the risk is like any type of wilderness type first aid situation.
Mm-hmm. Can I try to heal him?
Yeah,
with my
absolutely.
special magics?
Mm-hmm. Do you have
Maybe
an ability?
temporarily slow it down or something?
Yeah, I mean, I might cast my very first spell.
Sure.
Ooh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Perhaps you should go without me.
as a druid, I'm able to cast healing magics, and I clutch the stone, the blue stone that we got
From the pendant.
From the pendant. And I say, well, I'm not sure if this will do much, but I'm going to give something a try. Now hold still and close your eyes.
No problem.
And I'm going to try to cast a healing spell.
So are you familiar with how the healing mechanic works, or the magic mechanic?
No.
So the magic mechanic is whatever you want to happen is going to happen, but whatever level you roll at, if it is beneath, you have to roll. So first of all, you got to spend your willpower points,
Yes, which I do have.
and whatever level you roll at, you're going to roll your d6. It's going to happen, but if you get a level 1, like if you get a Bane, it's going to be a magical mishap.
Yes,
There's
which
a
I see the
risk.
table for.
You're drawing on a lot, you're drawing on something deep, primordial power that you have.
Yes.
And it's channeled through this stone, but there's a risk.
Right. So for me, healing is a level 1 power.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to cast it at a level 1.
Mm-hmm.
So how many dice do I roll?
I believe you have to roll at least 1, but that's it. So
Okay.
you just have to roll 1.
That sounds great.
Because
I'm gonna
later
do it.
on, if you go above that, you have to roll a certain amount more, and we can look into that more. But for now, it's just 1 die.
Okay. So I lay my hand on his leg right by the wound, and I concentrate, and I hold this stone close. I rolled a 2.
And what is your? No, that's fine. What does your spell do?
My spell removes the poison, whatever it is.
Is that
that's
what your healing
seeping
does? It's a
into
poison
his
removal.
veins. Yeah, it's going to remove whatever ill effect those thorns imparted into his limb.
As you cast, the blue stone gets icy, icy cold in your hands. And you see the veins that are stretching out from that wound stop and start moving their way back in. It seems that you've completely quelled the spreading of the poison. It's not getting stronger. It's not spreading, which it definitely would. You feel that he's definitely much more stable now because of what you did, but the poison that's here is a magic. It is not something that is just a natural poison that you would have, that you could definitely heal in that way, but it would definitely have spread to other parts of his body. But now that you've done this, it's kind of sequestered it just to that one leg.
And I fall back onto the forest floor, kind of in surprise. Jericho, look. I think that's done it.
What did you do?
How do you feel?
It doesn't feel like anything's changed. But
It does feel a little better to you, Jericho. It does feel like less pressing, but you do still feel the presence of whatever it is in your system.
I suppose I feel less impending doom. Theodora, what did you do? Is this some sort of
Well, I don't really know.
ointment?
No, I think the power came from within me.
That's miraculous, Theodora. I truly, I never thought such a thing could happen. Finn says as he watches and looks between the two of you.
Well, shall we go?
Yes, we
Do you
should
think you can bear weight on it, Jericho?
press on if you
I
can.
suppose I should be fine. Thank you, Theodora. Again. And you help Jericho up, and am I able to walk on it?
You can, yeah, absolutely.
I just look
With
so
some-
pleased
you're-
with myself.
You're labored with your walking. It hurts, but you're
Yeah.
not, you're sweating a little bit less
I've had worse.
for now. As you push on, you see that the Totos kind of sees that you're moving, turns, and starts kind of walking down the path a little bit ahead of you.
Cool. We follow the dog.
Follow.
I mean wolf.
Doggle.
Follow the puppy.
So the path diverges in two directions here. The wolf clearly is going to the right, but that's weird. It's jumping all over the place here.
Which way do the hanks of orange fur go?
Good question. As you see the direction, sorry, I'm moving somewhere by accident. As you see the direction the wolf goes, you can actually see hanks of fur multiplying. Good observation, Theodore. So the way we're going definitely seems to be more. It's increasing in quantity.
Excellent. Let's go there. We follow.
As you approach, you're following close behind the wolf. You come to a eventual clearing, and there in the clearing, we're gonna have to move ahead a little bit here. I can keep moving the wolf that way.
Near this part area?
Yeah, keep going, and the wolf will be here as well. Harlan, can you move the wolf just ahead of the group?
Of course, my friend.
Thank you, sir. And there are tombstones here. They don't seem to be, they seem very old, ancient. Perhaps there was, this is a burial of some sort. The wolf doesn't seem to pay attention. It seems to be looking at Jericho with a certain amount of concern and moving ahead as well. Jericho, I need you to roll another endurance check.
Got the dice ready for that. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 ones.
Oh man.
You want to push it?
For one. Oh, man.
Nope.
In the woods just behind the tombstone, you're certain you see a woman walking.
That woman. Hello.
The
Hello.
sweat on your brow becomes heavier, and the woman seems to disappear in a fog.
And I try to pursue. I take steps towards her.
Finn, Wharton, Theodora, you see Jericho sweating, kind of stumbling, mumbling to himself.
Jericho,
saying,
there's nothing there, friend.
Yeah,
I
Wharton
don't
grabs
see
him by
anything.
the shoulder to stop him.
Yeah, get him.
no one sees anything.
It might be.
Friend, there's I hate to tell you, but there's nothing there.
No. There is.
Finn-
there's-
Finn walks up, and I'm going to use my pride, and I'm going to make Jericho trust me when I say, "Listen, friend, I promise you that there is nothing there, only the trees." And I will roll with my pride, just as I always do. Oh yeah, that's 3 successes.
Nice.
Jericho, you believe him. You realize that you couldn't possibly have seen a woman. The brambles are too thick. There's no way that anyone could be walking the way she had in there.
Thank you, Finnegan. Just must be the poison from those brambles. I'll be all right. What are these tombstones doing here? Who do they belong to?
Let's take a quick tombstone break and check them out.
Let's take a tombstone break.
Tombstone. You try to
listen
read
to
the
some music.
tombstones. Most of the words are etched out, but based on the dates on them, they're ancient tombstones. So whatever was here, whatever society had placed these people here, it is hundreds, close to 1,000 years old. Ancient.
What is
So
that?
look-
Jesus Christ.
So-
old bodies. That's yep. Okay.
There's nothing to really procure, like no information from these tombstones. They look to be the size of the beds themselves are pretty short, probably dwarven.
Is there any way that I can copy the information from them, or is it completely obliterated?
Yeah, you could try to learn the language. You know, the words are you recognize the lettering, but the language in the letters are nothing like you've seen before. So you know, one of them has some English on it, and you figure that you could, or the common that you speak, you figure that you could, you know, suss out maybe a little bit of the alphabet this way.
Okay, I'll do that. Should they lore maybe?
Kind of like a Rosetta Stone type situation here.
Sure. No successes, but no fails. A lot of 2s and a 5, so I'll roll again. I'll push it. And no, also got 3 5s, a 2, and a 3. So just nothing and nothing.
Too obscure for you to figure out. It would take too long. You probably could if you took a couple days, but not this quickly.
I think it's English, but what it says, I couldn't even guess at. Maybe I'll take a rubbing. And I walk up and I pull a piece of parchment from my bag, and I just take a rubbing of both of them just in case.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll definitely come in handy. Or it might come in handy.
Jericho peers at the wolf. It felt like the wolf led us here. Is it making a move to
wolf-
continue on? Or?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's still looking to continue on, clearly. So it's moving ahead, actually, and looking back at you expectantly. Doing that pointer thing that some pointers do.
Yeah.
Let's
Like a
follow that
lassie,
good
like-
boy. Yeah.
All right, and Jericho begins to limp after the wolf without saying anything.
Cool. So if you guys press ahead in Tailspire, you're going to come to an opening, and the wolf stops you just before this opening with these creatures here.
Creatures.
What
Right
creatures?
here. Right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, these orange dudes.
And you hear mumbling, and you hear people kind of grumbling to themselves, and a strange kind of voices you're hearing. And let me just make sure that I have. Here we go. So the mad tufts of orange and brown are now everywhere in this area, blowing in the wind, disgusting, really shedded all over. The smell of musty, wet hair is very strong as you approach, and the wolf kind of slows you guys as you get close. 3 large ape-like figures perched on an ancient stone structure and on some trees high up seem somewhat bored and grumble to one another and occasionally climb or jump amongst the trees. They all wear ornate helmets and carry spears. You are probably just a little bit in the woods. They don't seem to react to you as if they don't see you or they don't care. Can I have you do another roll, Jericho?
Endurance again.
Yep.
All right, this time I'm gonna push it. I got 5 4s, a
No.
5 and a 2. So I'm gonna push it this
5
time.
4s.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
No, not a single 6, but 1 1.
Oh,
Well, I got a
man.
willpower point at least. Yikes.
So
The odds are not with me
You
there.
feel the pain in your leg as it seems to be the magic or whatever Theodora did to you is beginning to wear off.
Oh
And
no.
the ache seems to be shooting down your leg again. You pass out, Jericho. Not from the pain, from something else. And you find yourself sitting there at the doorway of your house looking out. This is a house that you haven't lived in many years. Your wife, Lysa, turns to you and says, I need to think about this. She slams the door in your face and walks off. You're certain of where she's headed. You're certain that she's going to clear her head. What argument did you have? Why is she leaving?
She's frustrated with me. I say as I lean back in this little wooden chair that Lysa and I roped together ourselves in our little hut. And I lean back and I look out the window and I see the blood-red mist roiling in the distance.
Where's your home?
Our home is in an oasis of sorts. The blood mists have surrounded the entire kingdom, and are not safe to travel in, but my wife and I, rather than being relegated to a city, we were able to escape, and as fortune would find it, we were able to track down a small patch of fresh air within the mists. We were able to create a bit of a abode for ourselves using mud and the bits of trees that were in the area. And since then, we were able to live off of the sparse wildlife and some crops we were able to grow. That was on Lysa for being able to, having the forethought to bring some seeds along with her. And well, after years of living this way, 7 years, I saw no other way but Lysa. Lysa always figured that there was more for her out there. We did not know whether or not there were anyone else alive, whether the mists had continued on and the foul beasts within them that we'd been fortunate not to have seen yet. They could have completely ravaged the kingdom, but we did not know. I figured that staying, waiting, perhaps one day the mists would go away, but we wanted for nothing here. We had food, sustenance, each other. But Lysa felt differently. Her belief was that we were fortunate enough to find this place. Perhaps we would be fortunate enough to find the rest of civilization, and perhaps even lucky enough to find her family once more.
So it wasn't enough for her to stay here. You were ready to make a life and be safe in this area, and she seems to want to... It's not enough. She's ready to do more.
Ah, yes, it's a conversation that we've had many times before, and... well, one, frankly, that I'm getting quite tired of. I think she is as well, but... there's nothing we can do about it. We have to stick together.
As the door slams, you go and sit down, as you did many years ago. And you sit down, pour yourself a cup of tea, to reflect. Not to pursue, to reflect. As the red mist seeps in through the cracks under the doors and through the windows and the holes in your mud-hobbled home. And you become unconscious again. Theodora, Finnegan, Wharton, you see Jericho just crumple to the ground, sweating profusely, mumbling to himself.
Jericho! And I
saying
walk
the words
over and
Lysa.
I go over and I try to shake him a little bit.
You can't bring him to consciousness. No matter what you do, he seems to be in a state that is beyond your healing.
Your magic didn't work.
Finnegan, these creatures, they have weapons and helmets. Perhaps they have some experience with this poison as well? Do you know of any way you could possibly communicate with them?
You overhear them talking to each other like, I hope their food comes soon.
Oh shit! we
Oh,
do
they're talking
understand that.
English.
They
Okay.
sure
Oh.
are. They're just
Hello.
talking themselves, very bored. So you come out of the like visible to them and you say hello.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm right behind him.
The biggest of them, and they all have these ornate kind of golden helmets. One of them is a little bit nicer, a little bit bigger helmet than the others. Clearly a sign of stature. It looks at you and says hello and taps its spear down, kind of.
Our friend is dying. We need your help.
Please, please.
I cannot help you. We have our job to do. We're here guarding this entrance as we're supposed to. We're being good soldiers, he says to you.
What is this entrance?
The other one of them jumps down and falls a lot slower than you'd expect it to and stands next to the lead one, whispers in its ear, and kind of looks excited. Do you have any food? The leader says to you.
Yes, of course. And I reach into my bag of everything, and I'm going to use my path of many things, and I'm going to pull out some food.
Cool. And that's a once per day thing?
Nope, that's a willpower point, and I got lots of them.
So the lead one here, let me see here, says thank you and walks over to you and reaches out a hand, this calloused, massive palm, like an orangutan's hand, reaches out to you and says, thank you. Takes
You're
the
welcome.
food,
Now,
throws
please.
it to his friend, takes another, and just eats ravenously.
Right. Our friend, he got hit with this terrible bramble, and it poisoned him. Surely, as people of the woods, you must know how to help.
The one that's highest up, kind of a little bit twitchy, has a little bit of a missing hair where it seems to be like pulling at itself a little bit, hops down, goes over to where Jericho is and pulls him up by his hind leg, one of his legs.
Careful.
And looks at the wound and smells it. Then jumps back. Tim, he talks to his leader and he says, "Oh, that's a magic wound there. Oh, he's done something to Agar. Not a happy guy." And he eats into the food a little bit more.
We tried to heal it with magic, but obviously it didn't work. Please, there must be something you can do.
The leader says, "Oh, I cannot do anything, but I know someone that could. Perhaps if you go and seek the leader, the saviors of the forest, those that are shepherds amongst the woods, they might help you. They can do as they will. They don't have to stay guard like us." The other one who's kind of whispered to him and that's kind of scoffs.
Where can we find them?
Oh, they live on the other side of the forest.
Okay, and I turn to the little wolf and I say, "Please, surely you can lead us to the other side of the forest."
Totos.
Totos?
Totos looks at you and looks at Theodora, and with a knowing look, walks, you understand it to say, "I'm done for now," and goes into the woods, Theodora, and kind of disappears amongst the brambles. But Theodora, you have the ability, as a spell now, one more time, to call upon Totos to kind of direct you if there's a way, like a branch in the path, which way seemed less dangerous, as it were.
Cool. Well, if you have to stay here and guard this entrance, what if you went to find the shepherds of the forest for us and we guard the entrance for you?
The one who has the tufts missing looks down the hole that they're standing over and says, "She wants us to leave!" And it echoes, "Leave, leave, leave, leave. We cannot leave. We cannot leave." And the leader again says, We must do as we're told. It is part of our duty." And he knocks the helmet. We're not allowed to leave.
I do say I'm quite sorry. Who do you serve? What are you guarding exactly?
Algora told us to stay here. And we will stay here.
Algora, yes. Good. Who is Algora?
Algora, do you guys remember?
Yeah, that's Agar's like counterpart, right?
Yeah, Agar and Algora seem to be working together. You know them to be
Yeah.
brother and sister. Algora's the sister. And supposedly more powerful than Agar, and Agar seems to be transporting goods. There's some sort of system going on here. And so they've been put here to guard this by Algora.
Cool.
Interesting.
They don't, they seem keen, very loyal to that calling. They seem to be, it's like sacred to them that they have to stay here.
Are they all wearing helmets?
They are all wearing helmets.
I mean, do you ever take off those nice shiny helmets?
Sure, we do. There are helmets. We're soldiers after all, but when we sleep, of course, we take them off. Why?
Oh,
You
whatever.
Are we all?
You guys
Oh, there
froze
we go.
for a second.
Oh, no.
You're back.
hello?
You're
Are we
back.
back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
Our connection just dipped.
Whew, scary.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's 9 o'clock.
It's happening again.
Do you imagine? It's like the internet follows Chris wherever he is.
Oh man.
No.
Like Insidious.
Yeah, like Insidious. It's good.
I'm out of ideas. Anyone?
Let's just look.
There's
What do
a-
you want?
You can. We don't want you to go down this hole.
Okay, let's go down the hole, everyone.
We'll have to fight you. He says as he grabs his spear. You obviously didn't say that out loud.
Damn. And I'll take a step back and I say, look, there must be something we can do.
What's down the hole?
Why would you guys want to go down this hole?
Tell us what's down there.
We're not allowed to go in, but occasionally they bring some dwarves in. Kind of like, I don't know what it's for. That's usually when they feed us, and it's not often enough. Says the volatile one with the tufts missing. Not often enough. But nothing
What-
really ever goes in aside from that, and nothing really ever comes out. We don't know what's down there, to tell you the truth. We're here to
What
stop
kind
people
of
from going
food
in.
do you get to eat?
Whatever. I mean, if we're lucky, we get fruits and vegetables, but that's not always we get. We sometimes just get tops of bread, chunks of bread and stuff.
Okay.
Can I roll insight on them to see what they'd like?
Yeah. What do you mean? What do they like? They like fruit and vegetables. That's for sure.
Well, they know where we can help Jericho. Jericho's
Yes.
MIA right now, essentially. I want to
Yep.
get Jericho alive. So how can we get that information from them? That is 1-6. That is 1-6 and no ones. So I try to size them up.
Yeah, he says if you go, he gives you directions. He says if you keep going, eventually you're going to come across the saviors of the forest. Just
All right.
Oh, I thought it was like on the other side of the
it's
like-
through the forest. You have to get through the forest, but you can.
All
like
right.
you said, you follow the trail.
Okay.
All right. Is Jericho totally passed out now, though?
He is.
All right. Stay here, Jericho. We'll come back as soon as we can.
Warden could carry him if he wanted.
Yeah.
to.
I was
Warden,
gonna
carry
say-
Jericho.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know strength. To me, it's just like he's heavy. We leave him here.
Of course.
He's dead to
All
us.
right, and then so Wharton will take off the shield from his back and kind of just like put it on, and then he'll half Jericho up and over.
Okay, he is heavy, but you're able to carry him. We'll just give
I'm
you
a
like a negative.
strong boy.
You're a strong guy. On fails, if you want to do agility check, it'll be a -1, right? Or
Fair.
this is not a happy. The Tailspire is not happy with me being in it right now.
Why?
I don't know. Just is unhappy. It's too
me
much for
see.
my poor computer.
Yeah, the computer is tough. That's okay, though. We got it right here. So
Okay,
we'll...
yeah. Can you take the wolf off?
Absolutely.
Bye, Totos.
Let me just kill him.
No,
kill
what?
menu.
No.
Kill.
So you might as well take Justin's character off the board. Well, actually, leave him on there because that way we can.
Well,
bring him
someone
back.
just moved him far away. Okay, someone's moved. Oh, it's Justin doing it. Cool. So
away.
we have no idea where.
No, he gave us directions.
Yeah, but what was like? We
He
don't
says
know.
follow the path. Keep
Yeah.
following the path, and
Yeah.
eventually you'll get to, something good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Right then.
So now
thank
you can summon.
so much for
Oh,
your
no, I fell down
Just
the
saying,
hole.
go on. Oh well. Joe's
They did a
character's
bad job of protecting me.
Hey, Harlan, maybe don't
Oh, no.
show everyone's down the hall. But anyway.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't
cool.
see anything, but I grabbed her back.
Thank
so
you.
Cool, thank you. So as you go, he just says kind of go north,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but what's north on this map, though?
just the way we're going. We'll say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I didn't actually position a north. So as
So
you
now, yeah. So
ahead.
now, not Threshold, fucking Theodora can summon your wolf to guide us one of these two ways. Should we do it now?
But only once
I know.
ever.
But when, I mean, this is a big fork.
Can
wolf hates you.
I know.
Warren would love to do some kind of check to see if there is a path more trodden than another one that is maybe safer to go down.
Go down the more trodden path.
The path more traveled.
Yeah, let's do some of that. Let's do some. What are you gonna do? Scouting?
Sure. I'm terrible at it, but Wharton had the idea, so he's gonna do it. 5 and a 2.
Yeah, there's lots of animal prints, and they go in both directions.
Perfect.
By the looks of the trails here, there's they're both totally safe, I believe.
Did the monkeys say that they had visited these things at all?
Nope.
Okay.
So there's not even going to be any tufts. So is there anything? Well, I'll scout too then, I guess.
Yeah, I want to scout.
Yeah, I'll just be like, well,
Triple
let me
scout.
try as well.
6.
Nice. I got a 6 and a 1 as well.
Whoa.
You see that to the right. I can't remove my map. Or to the left, you see that there's a track that looks wolf-like, but only the rear legs, and it's elongated. So definitely is some sort of creature that way. To the other way, you see more naturalized prints. You know, some deers, you know, those types of things. Some coyote, other types of prints. You do see one particularly interesting print that you've never seen before. It's very broad, and it's got these little parts that come out in a kind of a circular fashion. And there seems to be 2 sets of those ones, and then one that's just like almost like a perfect circle beside each other.
Okay.
Let's go the other way then, right?
Yeah, you want to go to the wolf one?
No, the other way.
Yeah.
Like, don't go
to the
way
right
that-
has the new
fucking
path.
Justin's just hovering his figure over us. It's hilarious.
To
I
the
love
right
it.
there,
It's like
we'll
he's
say
on
to
my
the-
back.
To
Perfect.
the east is the trail that has those new peculiar markings.
Oh, to the east. So that
Yeah,
would
the way
be-
you're going. The way you're going.
Okay, so we want to go this way. Then.
Northeast. Nope, that's west. That one has the wolf markings.
Oh, sorry. Then we want to go east. Sorry, I thought you meant peculiar was the wolf markings by the. Never mind. Okay.
Okay, Justin, as you're walking, I want you to do another endurance check.
Okay.
As you're being carried.
Yes.
Let's do this.
And we'll stop you guys there.
Oh,
Hey, my first 6.
Yay, Justin.
Good job, buddy.
Justin,
Thank you.
you come to a little bit in. Sorry, let me say it this way. You find yourself walking through a path that you're very familiar with, a beautiful forest. You see wisps of red mist in the forest. This is familiar because it's back in your home again. A path you did not take after your argument with Liza. A path you're taking now in your subconscious. And as you're walking, you see beside you on the trail a figure walking alongside you. And the figure kind of mimics your walking and wears the robes of a Rust brother. And the figure walks out in front of you and begins scolding you. This figure is someone that was higher up in the rankings, someone you are familiar with. Who is it that you see?
It is my captain, Hannibal Rose, the leader of the Rust Brothers, at least in our section, our city. He has never liked me, possibly because of, well, how the other men feel like I would be a better leader than him. He always knew that I could actually perform better than he could.
Hannibal
As a
looks you in
leader of
the
the Rust
eyes,
Brothers.
and his eyes are vacant and bloodshot, and he looks at you and says, "Are you going to abandon her too, like you abandoned the Brotherhood? Where have you gone?"
did not abandon the Brotherhood. It abandoned me.
How did we abandon you? You don't even wear the garbs anymore.
Through pain and lack of humanity, that's how. You cannot force a man to kill. It is not right. What few brothers do is
And you
not
think
right.
inaction is not a responsibility for death?
I am protecting the one that I love. There is nothing wrong with that. If I can protect just one person on this world, it is much better than killing those that I do not like.
And you protected her? He says to you with a coy smile.
I did what I had to.
Did you? Or did you cower in your hobbled home and let her get taken? And the mist kind of closes in again around you one more time. Again, you're unconscious. As you guys are walking through the forest trying to make haste, as you can see that Jericho is like mumbling and thrashing and kind of like, frothing a little bit at the mouth here. Very, very concerning. You see strange things moving ahead of you. Trees, not moving in the wind, moving in their own volition. Enormous faces are hidden amongst crags and burls of an ash tree, half hidden behind a beard of moss. It stands there, looking out the way you're coming.
Hello?
Whatever this creature is, it walks towards you. Harlan, would you take one of the bigger creatures and have it walk up towards you guys?
Only if you want me to scare everybody.
Super
Are you
scary.
one of the shepherds of the forest?
It's enormous. It seems to be a tree. It bends down to get a better look at you, creaking
Oh,
and bending
it actually
slowly.
shakes the screen. That's
That's
cool.
amazing.
I didn't notice that. I think this is a
That
new
is
creature.
perhaps the most magnificent beard I've ever seen.
As a bird comes in and eats something, flies away.
I don't
It
know how
bends
big.
down to-
I don't know how
look
close
at
it
you.
gets, but
Yeah, like there. Yeah, it seems just completely curious by you. There's another
Hel-
companion,
hello.
not as tall, that comes out behind. More trunk than torso, very rounded, not as tall. Scratches her foliage and dislodges many orange, broad leaves as they float amongst you. As one lands on your head, Theodore, the expression in the face kind of turns to a shade of embarrassment. And lichen kind of shift on that face. This is the other one, actually, Harlan. That one's not quite there yet.
oh, okay. Sorry,
That's
I
okay.
didn't see another. I'll just look.
It
The other
looks
big
at
one?
you. Yeah, the other big one. Whoa, that's scary. Wait.
There we go.
So you say hello to it, and
Yeah.
it looks curious, and it bends down, but it doesn't speak.
She holds up the leaf that fell on her head and smiles and does like a little shrug. And then she like points at Jericho, who's like frothing and foaming and twitching and writhing and talking and stuff. And she's like, please help us, our friend.
Climbing down the back of the closest one to you is a creature with a variety of fungus growth sprouting all over its form. And it comes down and kind of looks at you, waves, and crawls down towards your friend. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Yep, you guys are back.
Okay. So no,
Yeah.
Stop for a second.
it's okay.
Oh no.
It's okay. Most noticeable of this new creature is this enormous orange helmet that sits on its head and just over its eyes. And it looks up at you and looks down and says, "My name's Heidenham," and reaches his hand out to shake.
I shake his hand.
And it's weirdly spongy and soft. Again, are we
Oh
okay?
no.
Oh no, am I
It
doing
keeps
this?
going
You're
up
back
and down.
again. Yeah, you guys keep.
The internet
bumping
follows
in and out.
you.
It's wonderful.
I wonder if all of us on Tailspire is too much.
Yeah, it could be.
No, oh, maybe. Do you need Tailspire?
No, I can
Should
drop out,
close it?
Harlan. I can just do like I normally do, and I'll just.
Okay. Oh, you drop out? Okay, why don't you drop out and we'll see what happens. See if anything changes.
You've been sent to the space between. Okay, whatever. There
So
we
what
go,
did
dropped
he
out.
say his name was? It got cut off.
Heidenum.
Heidenum. Okay.
Yep.
Thank
Because
you.
he's hiding in him.
I'll take a look at him. Can I look at him? And he goes close and looks
Yes.
at your friend.
Of course, absolutely. And Wharton will take Jericho off his back and politely lay him on the ground.
That switch route and gestures to the second one that appeared, the smaller one whose leaf fell, and that's Hardbright. They're harmless unless you mean to do us harm. And then he looks down at the Jericho, and oh, you must have some powerful enemies. Why? What happened?
Yes, you see, we tend to be in the disfavor of Agar at the moment. And our good friend here got licked by a very bad tree branch, and now he's dying.
A tree branch did this.
I believe
No,
so.
it was a
vine of-
thorn.
Yes. That's
A
right.
bramble.
A bramble, actually.
That makes more sense. Type of thing that would full of malor and hate. That is not our forest. That is not from here. Why would Agar go through so much trouble to wound you so?
Because we're trying to stop them.
And he kind of walks over to you and like lifts up the side of your shirt and looks at your weapons, very like not aware of personal space at all, and kind of like smells and like knocks on your chest plates and things like that. Why again? You're trying to stop Agar?
Can you please help our friend, regardless of why? He's dying by our feet. And if you have the ability to do so, he is not your enemy.
No, I suppose not. Well, this is definitely much of my reasoning. Yeah, follow me. And he turns around, and the other two kind of look at him like, if you can physically look like, are you sure? And they kind of just walk, and they bring you to where some trees are. And these trees look dead, but on closer inspection, you realize that they are alive. They just seem to release all of their leaves. But still the trunk looks healthy and everything as among all these dead leaves. And Heidenum kind of goes close and like touches the trees, and they kind of move away out of the way. And you're able to follow this path that is, as you go through it, more and more full of life, rich, natural, beautiful forest. A breath of fresh, clean air fills your lungs, and it's a reprieve from what you've been breathing in this dead, musty forest. You didn't even know how oppressed you felt until you're out of it. From where you came, amidst jagged peaks of shimmering, spring-fed forests of old towering giants, old wood towering giants. In this haven clearing, you see at the heart of it, an impossibly large tree, and it stands above all. The leaves shimmer gold and yellow, resplendent of the best fall display, but still supple, full of life, even though it's ancient. The tree trunks seem to be woven together, a conglomerate of many trunk types together. And they're walking you down this path, and you're looking at all this such beautiful place. Clearly, Agar and the Algora have not been able to touch this area for whatever reason. And they walk you right up to this tree, and there you see others, like small little creatures that look similar to these tree people and this mushroom, and they're all like playing around and really just being in nature as birds are fluttering in. It's just completely beautiful. And Heidenum walks up and says, "Saunter Sage, I found some people who need help." And I don't know, Finn, can you show the other map? And we'll put us right in front of that giant tree.
Sure. Giant tree. There's a big rock in the middle.
You'll find it.
There's another map like far around here somewhere?
What do you mean?
Or are you just talking about... So
Oh,
here's...
the other map. Go to the other board, sorry.
Oh, the other board. Oh, sorry. Here we go.
That's okay.
Ah. Oh, wow. Okay. It's breaking my computer. Oh, no, there's music. Hold on.
It's nice, though.
It's great.
While this is happening, Jericho,
There we go.
you find yourself now, again, walking this path, this familiar path that sometimes you've gone to clear your head, a beautiful space. And as you walk, you feel the forest is not normal. It's dark. It feels heavy, and around you, you see the red blood mist kind of creeping all around you. And there in front of you, sitting on a stone, is Liza with her back to you, and the red mist that encircles this whole area.
Lysa, come back to the house.
Why should I? A cold voice, not normal for Liza, speaks back to you. Why should I?
Come now, we've been through this before. You know there's nowhere for us to go.
Do you speak to her from a distance?
I say this, I stopped, spoke, and then I begin to step forward as I move to put a hand on her shoulder.
She doesn't turn to look at you.
Perhaps in time the mist will fade, but I cannot risk you going out there.
You did
We're
risk me
safe
going
here.
out there. You left me, Jericho.
What? No, I'm with you right now. I did not leave you.
Why didn't you come for me? She says. Why did you stay home when you knew that there was danger?
And then I think I realized this in this sort of dreamlike state. I realized that this isn't where I actually am. This is the memory surfaces again of
What actually happened?
drinking my tea, of what actually happened. Drinking my tea, waiting longer and longer, and Lysa never returning. Stepping out of my hovel and going down the path, coming to this exact spot, and seeing that the rock that she normally would sit on was vacant.
And as you stood there, you saw that the red mist had been blowing through this area, and it was just now dispersing, and she was nowhere to be found. The specter of Liza, as you try to look upon her face, you cannot. You walk around her, and it appears that you can never look her in the eye. And as you try, as you might, to speak to her, you feel yourself pulled back immediately as Liza turns her head to look at you, and fear and anguish in her eyes as she reaches towards you, and the red mist just envelops her and she disappears. You guys stand there, and you can see Jericho convulsing in pain, clearly suffering. The biggest, most strange looking, we'll say Ents now because that's what they are, creature bent over with very little foliage, unlike the other two, which were youthful and full. This one has very few left, and there's some like rust on the leaves that are there. Walks over to you and slowly speaks, unlike the other Ents. What have you brought me, Hydnum? The big creature is actually inside there, if you can see the candles.
Ah, like down there?
No, that's something else you do see.
Ah, right there.
Cool.
Cool.
So he's talking to you guys as you're standing there. Very sick, I see.
Yes, thank you for bringing us to this beautiful place. Our friend is very ill, as you can see, and please, if you can do anything to save him.
Yes, yeah. He speaks very slowly. Please, switch route. Can you carry him to the spring? And the creature, who we know as Saunter Sage, which is this big creature, looks at you, Theodora. I will help you, because I think you guys can help me. And he picks him up And then you see the other end pick up Jericho and carries them to this shimmering pool and places Jericho in the pool. And you see Jericho's face relax a little bit, but twinges of pain all over him. The poison has definitely gone deep, and this will help. But it's going to be a wound he will always have. I need you, Heinim, to go get some Valpor steel. And I need you, Switchroot, to go and get Hog's breath from the forest. And they all go off into their separate ways, and they come back with these different materials. This big piece of steel that Saunter Sage grabs and starts to bash with its big tree roots, and you hear this like drumming reverberating through the rocks and all around you. And he seems to be bending it and breaking it, kind of holding up against Jericho's leg and then bending and breaking it again. It seems you've come here searching for help, but I think this is an auspicious joining. We Ents don't want to get involved, and yet we are forced our hands continuously. Our forests have been decimated by Agar and Algora. It's time that has ended. If you can bring us something that will heal our forest, something taken by Algora deep within the earth in our forest, from where the elves used to live amongst us, then I can help you on your journey. And you see Jericho writhe in pain as like brambles, these like vines wrap around his leg and start what looks to be going in circles, kind of cutting his leg. And you do see a little bit of blood going to the water, but he stays you, as you can see the concern. I will not harm your friend. And you feel a sense of calm and peace in this space, but you can see Jericho is struggling here. And the wound is being cut from the flesh. And he takes the piece of metal and he wraps it around Jericho's leg, where the wound had been, covering his entire leg. And he says, I am helping your friend, and you will help me. Is that agreed, as he looks over very slowly to you guys?
Yes, of course. Anything you can do.
Absolutely.
He finishes what he appears to be doing, and he's crafted in before your eyes miraculously as he bends and the leaves go around this piece of steel. What looks to be a piece of armor, perfectly suited to the size of Jericho's leg. As he wraps it around the leg, you can see the pain in Jericho's eyes. The water seems to boil, and you can see that it's kind of forming. He will never be able to take this off. It is good that you brought him here when you did, for if you did not, his whole body would be consumed by that poison. But for now, this is what we can do. As he forms it around the leg and it becomes a permanent seal on Jericho, he says, in the forest, there are deep tunnels. I need you to bring for me back vessels that could carry this water. For this spring cannot be brought away from this area without these vessels. If we try to bring the water to the sick woods, we fail. But with these vessels, we can do it, and we can heal the forest again. Please bring me those vessels, and I will help you defeat Agar and Algora. We care not for their spats and for the archetypes. We do not want to be involved. But we cannot sit back and let our forest decay any further. Will you do this for us? And with that, Jericho, you become conscious as you come out of the water that he's put you in. Jericho, as you look down in shock and horror, your leg is now completely wrapped in metal from hip to toe.
Where am I?
You are safe in the haven in the woods.
I thank you. And I'm looking up at this big tree.
This creature, this weird-looking mossy. You got old man's beard moss hanging down all over. He's gnarled. He's like bent over. A couple little scraggly pieces of foliage still.
Friends, I'm glad to see you again. And I look down at my leg. And it's peeled?
No. What you see there is this swirled metal, this leg that is completely encased in metal. And as you move it, it feels so bizarre. It feels stiff. You don't feel pain anymore, but then again, you don't feel much at all in that leg.
What have you done? Where's my leg?
He doesn't seem to be he doesn't seem to have emotion the same way you guys are experiencing things, but he says, we've done what we had to save you. Your friends saved you.
Well, I suppose if it was a matter of life and death, then I appreciate the sacrifice that you made on my behalf.
Can you do a wits roll, Justin?
Wits!
Or empathy roll, I'm sorry.
Empathy. All right. You sure you don't want wits?
I'm sure.
All right. No successes. I'm going to push it. Hey, I got a 6.
Okay. So, although this is horrifying to you, this could break any sanity of a person waking up in this bizarre place with these bizarre creatures, having your leg be virtually amputated and replaced with this metal, appendage now. You are grateful beyond reason, and something about the space is really calming to you. Something about the way you feel in this area has allowed you not to just lose your mind in this situation.
Okay. Do I remember my dream?
Yes, vividly.
So I'm pretty distracted then. I say, well, then if I can walk, and I get up and I kind of hobble around a little bit. It's rather stiff, isn't it?
It is. And you're going to actually have to do, it's going to be a little bit different. So I want you to write on your encumbrance, which is your gear, Valpor steel leg.
Okay.
Which adds a +2 to your armor, +1 to strength, but it's a -1 to move on every day that it isn't crafted upon. So you have to maintain it. More to this, it cannot be removed.
Okay. Well...
So whatever. So you guys have a certain amount of gear list on your character sheets. That one's filled no matter what. You can't get rid of that. So no matter what, you're down 1 gear slot. And right now you're at -1 to your move, but +1 to your strength checks.
Gotcha.
So your agility is -1, strength is +1, and you have your +2 armor from this.
Agi -1. So I turn to Finn, and I say, Finn, I don't suppose you have some oil in that bag of yours?
Of course, friend. And I reach into my bag and I pull out an oil can and I pump a little bit of oil into his leg.
So you're gonna have to do a craft check.
Me?
Yeah. I can take that.
Jericho.
I've used machinery like this before. Not exactly like this, but... So I've got crafting is why.
So you got to roll. You got to roll strength with your crafting, and you got a +1 with
you
the
have any
asset.
crafting, Finn?
Finnegan.
It's not me doing it, is it? It's strength anyway. It's so you would be more appropriate than me.
I like the idea of Finnegan doing it, but it makes more sense, I think, to...
Yeah, Finnegan would definitely be smarter, know how to kind of do this thing, the wisdom. I like that too. Let's make Finnegan do it.
Yes, sir.
But not as...
I got a 1.
Can you do it as strength, though? Can you do it as
wits or something?
Yeah,
sure.
Wits.
It doesn't make sense because
roll?
strength is in crafting, but let's do it because that's silly.
Sure, you tell me what you'd like me to roll.
Yeah, let's roll. Let's have you roll what Justin was going to roll anyways.
What was that going to be?
5 strength and then 2 crafting.
Here we go, guys.
1 asset from the oil can.
So that's 1 success and 2 ones.
Okay, that's enough. You won't get the -1 to move today, so it seems to be working fine, Jericho. And you
Here you
feel
go,
like
friend.
it's almost been part of you your whole life.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vince. Sorry.
Here you go, friend. I'm sorry that this happened, but... And I bang it and I say, dung dung. Like, but obviously you're a lot stronger for it.
Appreciate it. Now, shall we get a move on then? Feeling right as rain. Perhaps. Wharton, you don't have any whiskey on you, do you? I could definitely go for a swig.
Let me check. I might have a little.
Gordon
bit
only
of-
drinks milk.
Yes, I only drink milk. I'm sorry. Nothing but the hardest, most thick,
Most sour
creamy-
I don't think I do have any milk or whiskey, for that matter.
I have a water skin. How do you feel about water?
That's fine. I suppose that'll have to do.
Here.
Thank you.
Here,
Always
take
drink
this.
the oil.
Trust me, my friend, the next time you and I find a bottle, we will have a damn good smash.
Indeed.
So Theodora like mops your brow a little bit as you recuperate. She says, Jericho, you were saying some pretty strange things.
I suppose I might have been. Had a very vivid dream. More recollection than dream, perhaps. But it's nothing to worry about now. I suppose that we should keep moving.
I can't say that you've woken up, really, just considering where we are, but at least you're with friends now. And then she takes everyone's arms and leads them towards the tunnels in the forest, wherever those may be.
Hold on just one second, Theodora. Excuse me, wonderful, magnificently bearded tree folk. Would you happen to have any fruits or vegetables you would be willing to part with?
That's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. And you see the most peculiar gourd-shaped, like fruit, enormous. You see the tree itself is still in blossom but producing fruit at the same time. And they reach and they pluck it from this enormous tree, and they offer it to you, Warren, and says. And it's kind of like a knowingness to the saunter sage who hands it to you and says, interesting, and gives you this weird gourd-shaped thing.
Excellent,
Cool.
thank you. I
cool.
ensure you this will help us greatly in our combined task to do the thing of which we said.
He clearly saunter sage is referring to that hole in the ground that's being guarded by these gorilla ape-like creatures, and he talks about that there was elves that used to live here. Algora, took it over, that type of thing. And Haydem says, "Come on, I'll take you back."
Wonderful.
Thank
Saunter
you.
Sage is such a good caretaker. I mean, he's shepherded this forward for long before I was spored. I can tell you that. He's kind of like skipping ahead of you, walking along.
Do you know anything about the ape-like creatures that live here?
Yes, I mean they're natural beings, and they have the right to be here just as much as you do. However, they are weirdly connected to Algora. And it seems to be that she has control over them. It seems like whatever she said to them, and in this case to guard that hole, they have to obey her. We've asked
Do you
them to
know-
leave, but they
Do
just
you know
stay.
what's down there?
We know that the vessels that carried the water that we could heal our forests with are down there. You see, Algora's destroyed our forest hundreds of years ago, and without them, we can't help. All we can do is protect the place around the spring.
Well, that's awful, and I promise we'll get them back.
Oh, but be careful, because if Algora has been using that space down there, it's not what it used to be. There could be dangers beyond your wildest imagination. I mean, Saunter Sage is powerful enough to protect us in this area, but definitely not strong enough to take out Algora completely. That's why we need you. He skips ahead, kind of happy again.
Yes, that is why we need each other. You help us, we help you, who helps us. It's just, I am enjoying this. Tell me, how do they grow those magnificent beards?
That is, it's a combination of watering and then letting it kind of mold a little bit. It's like a moss, really. I can't grow one myself. And he like lifts his head up and sees like these gills on his neck. It's really disgusting. He's like, I'm full of, gills and stuff. I would love one myself. So if you figure it out, you let me know.
I will.
He leads you back to where those trees were, and he lets the trees part, and he says, if there's anything else, let me know what I can do. We don't really try to venture in too far into there because it's dangerous and the forest is dead. But soon, if you guys come back, maybe that can all change.
Of course we'll come back.
I mean, if we have to. Finn says sort of nervously and looks towards the others. I mean, of course we'll come back. The deadly brambles that almost killed our friend, definitely inviting.
Well, those deadly brambles are kind of like before you got into this dead forest, right? He was trying to stop you out there, and you kind of got... This is all like dead forest now, so... You guys make your way back all the way to... Jericho, you're getting used to this new limb walking. It's strangely strong, but not very agile. And you get to where this old stone structure is, and there are those apes, and they say, appears to be that you've been helped. On your way.
Oh, well, we were hoping to give you a treat. What are we thinking, guys?
Well, let's have a conversation real quick, and we pull over to the side. So, how the heck are we going to do this? Obviously, we're not going to be able to beat them.
We know that they sleep, and we know where they sleep.
Exactly. But obviously, they sleep in shifts.
We don't know that.
Well, they wouldn't be very effective. I turn and I say, do you sleep in shifts?
Yes, we do.
I thought so. And I turn back and I say, obviously, they sleep in shifts. Sorry, I'm a bit of the brains of this operation. I need to explain my thinking sometimes.
I mean, I got that lovely fruit for a reason. They seem to be very food motivated. If we could convince them to let us down and back up in exchange for this piece of fruit, and then also perhaps promise them that if they allow us to do that, maybe we could just help them achieve an endless supply of food, and they would no longer have to rely on their terrifying witch patron.
I did try that food angle at the beginning, but obviously they might be more open to helping if it's a constant supply, as you suggest.
And maybe they prefer the fruit of the forest.
Our lovely tree friends did seem to say that they had a right to be here, and I'm not sure what their whole persnicketyness is with them asking them to leave. I think it's more of guarding the hole, and the hole being in... Anyway, I think that food is very wonderful, and that it would be a good bargaining chip.
Zia just had a brilliant idea, which I'm going to take as Finn's idea. Wait
Great.
a minute. What if we put the poppies in the food? If we could knock out the the monkeys, then perhaps we can find a way to get in there while they're sleeping.
She solved it.
Yeah, I think
She
Zia
fucking
got
solved
that.
it.
Well done, Zia.
That's really good.
Yeah, I think we separate the gourd into 3 distinct pieces and squish the poppy flower.
Well, first we
petals on it.
put masks on the people who are doing the poppy squishing.
Yeah. No, we go naked like drug cutters, you got to make sure you're not taking any products.
So no,
Fully nude.
Wharton, why
So
do you have
Finn
the drug
and
up your
Wharton
butt?
get nude.
Yeah, I think we distribute the poppies evenly amongst the 3 pieces of the gourd, and then I'll walk up,
I love this.
being all confident or being all trusting, and say, "Hello, friends. Another piece of food for a hot day."
And they
he hands the
trust you
pieces.
because you rolled, they trust you. So
Yeah.
they were just, more food.
And we
You guys-
previously gave them
Hey,
delicious
if you guys
food.
don't want to go down the hole, you guys can come back anytime. We'll talk to you.
Of course, we don't want to go down the hole.
Who wants to go down a deep, dark hole?
It's so
Ugh,
spooky down there.
gross.
And so eager, mouth-wateringly, you can see the one who's very impulsive floats down, and you get a glimpse of the fact that he's actually not just floating down, he's actually flying down. And he flies down towards you, reaches his hand out greedily, grabs the fruit, and hands it to his friends, and they eat it readily, super readily.
Idiots.
I'm
I
going
say
to roll
loudly.
to see if I can have any success. I'm going to do an opposed roll. And let's see here. I was going to give an advantage to basically convince them, like, whatever control is going on with these monkeys, these apes, you're going to have an advantage on, even if they don't fall asleep. Okay, so we'll say that right out. Even if this fails, you have another venue you can go to because this fruit has a magical quality to it. But this is such a good idea. I think they're just going to probably pass out. So I'm going to roll 3 die, and they all have to have 6s, but it's not going to happen. So no, I got 2 1s and a 4. So not only did they failed poorly. 2 of them actually fall into the hole as they pass out. As they're perched on the thing, they fall into the hole.
no!
And die.
I don't want them to die.
And
Too late.
one of them just passes out, kind of looks at you like, raised eyebrows, and falls asleep on the edge of the stone structure there. Drool
Classic.
drops its helmet, falls off onto the ground, and drops its spear on the ground. So asleep.
I
So
want to
there's
kind of drag him back from the precipice and sort of fold his little monkey arms peacefully on his chest so that he's safe.
And Wharton's gonna grab the spear and the helmet and chuck them into the woods.
No.
I
I'm
don't
going to
do
stop
that.
him. I'm going to
Okay,
stop him.
yeah, you see
I'm gonna
me
say,
going
hold
to
on.
do that.
We don't know exactly what kind of magic could exist. Let's put on the helmets ourselves, as well as the.
Wait a second.
What?
What if there's a magic effect on the helmets that would change you into a monkey?
It's possible. Well, I take off one of the helmets.
So you had one on, and then you took it off?
No. I take off the helmet of the monkey. Does the monkey stop being a monkey?
No, he's still this orangutan-looking thing.
All I mean to say is this woods is obviously geared towards a certain thing. If these helmets are helpful, maybe we should keep them.
Agreed.
And with a metal scrape, Jericho walks up from behind and says, I must have missed this part. Why do we want to go down that hole?
Because you're unconscious, the Saunter Sage had said, this big creature who had healed you had said, I will do this, but you need to help us out. And in order to help us out, we want you to go get these vessels that are buried beneath where the elves used to live.
Okay, this is for Saunter Sage.
Yeah, to me, I'm just concerned that there could be, some sort of magic that prevents anyone not wearing a helmet there. Equally, yes, they could be tainted themselves, but
Yes, that is a good point. I was just thinking when this one comes through, maybe we could convince him that he actually isn't a god, because gods wear helmets and have spears, and then he would be a normal monkey, and he could be our friend.
Aw.
That's
Also
where I
a
was
good
going
idea.
with this, but
well,
I see
also a
your
valid
point.
idea.
I vote yes.
I vote yes on all of that.
So you're going to wait till the monkey
But-
comes too?
No, let's
After.
go quickly. Yeah, first we should move because we don't know how long this poppy will last. So I think we start climbing down.
Okay, so you guys climb down this hole, and Harlan, you can let them do it, but we're going to do a move roll because it's precarious.
Ooh.
As we can see with the sleeping monkeys that have fallen down, are all monkey goo at the bottom.
No monkey goo.
Monkey goo, monkey goo.
I fail.
I
Can I roll?
believe
Was it a climb roll?
Yep.
What's climb?
Oh, sorry, move. Was to be a move roll.
Move. Agility.
I also fail.
Is anyone pushing it, or they're just going to fall?
I'll push. So I
I
reroll
fail, but
everything,
I'm going to
but
push it.
reroll everything but the one, right?
Yep.
I didn't roll anyone, so I'm just
Ooh,
gonna
nope,
reroll everything.
Nope, I got another one.
Okay, so you got
Oh,
two
no.
ones.
Got two.
Okay. Sorry.
I got a 6 and 2 1s as well.
So I'm rolling agility as well.
So Harlan, you succeeded, but you're
Yes.
going to take something negative. So who succeeded? Who got any 6s?
So I also succeeded, but I had to push it, and I got one negative, same as Harlan.
So Joe, as you're going down, Theodora slips close to the bottom and falls about halfway down. We'll say about 3 meters. So 3 meters. Let's see here.
Do I
Can only
land on a
push once,
soft,
right?
fuzzy ape?
You land on the corpse.
You're
of
fine.
An ape.
You do actually land on an ape, and it's not a nice feeling, but you're okay.
Do I hear a crunch?
All these lovely
More
ape
like
corpses
like
down
a pop
here.
squish.
Oh, good.
pop
That's what
squish.
you want to hear.
That's the spleen. Yeah, all the corpses that are from other apes that have fallen down. All right, who else failed?
It's
did.
precarious.
I succeeded but failed.
Okay, so Wharton, you failed.
Yeah, 2 1s on a push.
Okay, so make sure you get
Willpower.
2 willpower points.
Okay.
You're lucky. You don't actually take any damage, but you do fall,
Okay.
and you get back up, and you're okay.
Oh,
Finn?
all right.
You
Jesus.
succeeded. But
I
you got
succeeded and
1-1.
failed as well.
Okay, you get down, no problem. And Jericho.
I pushed, and then you can only push once, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I failed.
You
How
got
many
knocked
fails
down.
did you get? How many banes?
0 banes, no banes.
Well, you have to have at least 1, or you just didn't succeed the roll.
Right.
Okay, we'll say that you fall really close to the bottom, but yeah, still no damage. So you make it to the bottom.
Clank.
Yeah.
You
So
got
they-
pushed
this weird,
down.
like fall damage system, which you're like, okay, if you have fall damage, but you also have a fail, do you do the damage or do you do the fail damage, right? Because like technically a fail would have a bane against. Oh, you know what? You guys have to take the banes against your skill points. You know what I mean? So like for example, because you guys used move, you're gonna actually have to take an agility point for every bane.
So everyone takes agility damage.
Yeah, automatically, and then you guys didn't take extra fall damage, so you're okay.
Okay.
So you might have like twisted your ankle at the bottom from the actual
Yeah.
stumbling.
So I have residual agility damage and actually empathy damage as well. We can
Yeah.
heal that with a heal check, right?
You can heal,
Eventually?
yeah, you can heal any strength or agility with a heal to check. Empathy has to be healed with a performance.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. All right, so you guys find yourself in this ancient stone, I guess, I don't know, underground passageway.
Dungeon.
Dungeon crawl, we could say. And it's amazing. The stonework is not dwarven. You can see that, but it is still amazing all the same. The walls are damp. You can see your breath down here as it's much colder as you've gone down a fair bit. And yeah, this is where you are right now. What you can see is what there is.
Cool.
I open the door in front of us. Look, there's no sense in wasting time. Obviously, we need to find out what's down here. So I will open this door here and add sound effects.
Cool. And you can walk through.
Yeah, I'm going to do a stealth through.
Good.
That is a success with 2 1s.
And you're stealthily walking through. Yeah.
Cool.
Quiet, nimbly.
Come on, guys. And girl.
Sorry, I'm still trying to... I had to restart. I'm not downstairs yet.
Oh.
All right. Which direction?
Well, my spidey... Well, now you should get your goat. Or what is it? It's not a goat. It's a
Oh, it's a goat.
it's a bird. What is it called? Steven. No, what's the goat called? What's the bird
What
called?
goat?
What's the dog called?
Totos?
Dog.
Totos, sorry. Let's get the dog. You know what I mean? If it can lead the way, maybe down here makes the most sense.
Part of me thinks that saving it for when we're running for our lives would be better.
Does it
All
seem
right.
like your internet's
Yeah, that's
better
true.
now that I've closed Tailspire?
It definitely seems like the internet's better. I don't know if one begets the other.
Okay,
but
it's hard for me to like you guys do a listen check. It's gonna be hard for me to know exactly, but I'll figure it out.
okay, I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna say, "Come on, guys, this way." And I take a lot of steps into
Go
a
for
tiny
it. We're
little.
not in
hall.
initiative order.
Yeah, I go with you.
I found a. Doodle-doodle-doodle. Oh wait, a dead end.
Okay. That's fine. Oh, shit. It's fine.
Ocean.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
You see in
Oh, no.
this dead end space that this used to be some sort of chamber. There's like like crumbled, rotted wood on the floor. Ancient, old space.
Let's go the other side.
Yes. Looks like another dead end over here.
Absence. Being in a cranny.
All right.
All right, this time I feel
Justin.
lucky.
Sorry.
Walls cannot control me. I have a bionic leg now.
All right, we're going
right.
this way. Dun, 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 dun. A chest.
A chest.
Ooh. Everyone
Open
loves
it.
large chests.
I'm going to roll for check for traps.
This is not D&D. You don't get to do
I
that.
wish. I'll roll
You could do like a
insight on the chest.
scouting.
What are
Scouting?
you thinking, my friend? Scouting?
Yeah.
Scouting?
Insight to
Okay.
see if it's a mimic.
I'll use my my telescope.
Nope.
Yeah.
I draw the
two
line
ones.
with the telescope usage.
A one, but a telescope, but a six. A six.
You got a
Hold on a
telescope?
second. First of all, if you guys take the helmets from those beasts, you gotta
Yeah.
like account for them in your space, right? You
Yeah,
can't
well, I'm
just-
holding it.
Okay, but then it has to go on your character sheet. There's only like 4 points.
I
or
got
4
it.
spots.
Helmet. I have no spots left, but that's my spot.
Right.
I mean,
Cool.
that's my...
I'll just kick it along the ground like a can.
You cannot do that. Especially when you're trying to be stealthy.
All right, so I got a success. Is there anything in the chest, or is there any trap on the chest?
This chest is new. Like it's not an ancient chest at all. Somebody's placed it here recently. You look at it. It looks to be not locked even.
Open it.
That seems like a trap to me.
Open it.
Jericho, you're up. Kick it open, and I step back.
With the metal leg.
The
Hey,
metal leg.
Kick it open.
I'm gonna do it. Do you have the boot kick chest from Breath of the Wild, Harlan? Sound effect?
I don't, but you can do it anyway.
You open it up, and inside is a parchment. And the parchment is that obscure language that you saw on the tombstone.
I pull out my rubbing, and I rub all over it, and I compare it.
As Finnegan starts rubbing all over the place. You can decipher the letters, but you can't. Let's put it this way. It's nonsensical. There's something obscuring your understanding of this.
It's
but
a cipher.
I will
run
give
it.
you.
I
I'll
run it
give you
through a
what it
rot
is.
13 cipher,
Perfect.
and then I go rot 12, rot 11, rot 10, and I go
Nice.
through each one.
Good, you solved
Roll
it.
for wits.
If only you could do that on a gift someone gave you at some point. You could.
I
figure it
will.
out.
I'm gonna push it. I got 2 successes.
Okay, here it is. You translate it no problem, but it's still nonsensical. So whatever the language it was supposed to be, you transcribed it, but the words do not make sense. See if I can find it for you. And then I will copy it into the chat for everybody. Here we go. It is going in the threshold chat right now.
It's just backwards.
Sure is.
'Twas brilling or drilling,
Oh, it's the Jabberwocky.
and I know the title. It even says what Alice found there, 1871. Is that what we're supposed to read though?
Don't have to. It's what you found in the chest.
Oh,
It is what it is.
interesting.
What do you do, Mr.
Well, I immediately.
Finnegan?
It's easy. I turn it over.
It's blank. It's a parchment. It's like papyrus paper.
Right, but I hold it up to the light.
What light? Do you guys have a torch out?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be like,
Pitch black. Everyone's just like stumbling about in the darkness.
that's what I mean,
As
right?
we do.
I would be like, or I'd go back to the opening then, and I would
You read
hold
the
it up.
poem out loud to yourself, and one thing stands out above all else, and that's the word Valpor blade. That rings true. It seems like you've heard that before somewhere.
Yeah, it's the steel, the metal that is in your leg. It's the same type of steel.
It is, and you heard it
Vorpal
once, Vorpal Blade, and you heard it somewhere else as well.
That's the kind of metal that is in Jericho's leg.
That's
what I
right,
just
and
said.
you heard it one other place as well.
Yeah, so we know that number 32, his son Theodore, Valpor steel forged cut through his arm. The man east of us has the sword, he said.
And we'll end it there for today.
Oh,
Hey, nice.
the Vorpal
Good
blade.
remember. Good
That's what it
remember.
looks like when I hold it up
I
to
kept saying
Oh.
Valpor, Vorpal. Thank you.
Is it Valpor or Vorpal?
No, you're right. It's Vorpal.
Vorpal.
So, Valpor steel is actually Vorpal steel.
So double
You're right.
points.
This whole time.
Fuck yeah!
Nice.
Notes, guys. I got notes. I
For
got
days. She got days of notes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
And I'm losing control.
notes.
Cause the notes you're supplying is electrifying.
I'm on page 7. Good job, Chris.
Great job, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen.
Great game.
Oops. That was not my,
Sexy.
not
Yeah.
my clapping. Here we go. Where is my clapping? There we go.
Yeah.
Great job, ladies and gentlemen.
Click
Thank you
that.
so much for hanging out with us tonight. This has been Threshold Chapter 5. We will be off next week, but we will be back with Chapter 6 the week after that. Next week, TBD. Thank you again so much to Chris, Joe, Justin, James, and myself for hanging out tonight, I guess. And thank you all for hanging out with us and watching along. Remember, new episodes of Dice Shame come out tomorrow. Dimension Door Severed Fade out now. There's Malevolent. There's lots of stuff to
Episode
check
99.
out. Episode 99 tomorrow, so check it out. It is a lot of fun. That is it from us. As my good friend Chris always likes to say,
See you around the table.
see you on the table, guys. Good night!